Welcome to another episode of the Modern Moron. Wow, this is an extended episode of the Modern Moron. We are revisited by a recurring guest, the Senator, and we cover topics in such a moronic way that I'm picking up the conversation about 15 minutes into it, as you'll notice later. There's a lot we cover in this episode as we talk politics. So yeah, a lot to talk about when the process to impeach a president is in effect. I say the impeachment process and not impeachment because I think we both know he will not be impeached. Maybe by the House, but not by the Senate, much like the impeachment of President Clinton. The impeachment is not much more than a checkmark on your political record, a black mark, and the president will continue to preside. Why I think the episode could be important for you is that I found a handy-dandy guide, a program to the theater so you can look at the cast, a lineup card so you can identify the players on the field. It's a great visual aid I found on one of my favorite sites for news, Politico.com. Politico.com is one of the few news sources endorsed by the Modern Moron. It's considered least biased by media-biased-factcheck.com with a very slight lean to the left on their graph. I'll take that any day over the other mainstream news sources that are much further to the left, like all the broadcast networks and CNN, for example. The link you will find from Politico at the bottom of this description will take you to a really great interactive guide to the players in this impeachment soap opera. I'm going to explain it now, and then I do it again while talking to the senator, and I think it bears repeating if you haven't seen it. I highly recommend clicking the link at the bottom of this description just this once, because this one could really help you get the lay of the land as things play out. They have created an XY axis on a graph, like in elementary school. The X-axis, the horizontal, represents the amount of public influence an individual has. Naturally, Mr. Trump has the most influence publicly through his position as president and the extent he uses social media. Someone on the opposite end of this scale would be someone like Douglas Letter. Yeah, exactly. He's the House of Representatives attorney. Yeah, I didn't even know they had an attorney, let alone his name. So, no public influence. The Y-axis represents the amount of legal leverage that an individual or group might have in this process. At the high end of this spectrum, you have Nancy Pelosi, and even higher, you've got Mitch McConnell. And possibly more so, you have a handful of Republican senators who could possibly flip depending on the evidence that's found. Very doubtful, but not impossible. At the bottom of the legal leverage spectrum would be folks like Hunter Biden or Paul Manafort because, well, he's in prison. Or say Melania Trump. Melania Trump is very interesting because while she has very little legal leverage, like none, she has a lot of public opinion influence. What makes her special to me is that she rarely, if ever, makes use of any public opinion influence. Mostly due, I'm willing to bet, because of numerous prenuptial and non-disclosure contracts she signed along with her soul to be Donald Trump's wife. But can you imagine the influence she would have if she decided to speak out on this issue, especially if she broke ranks with her husband? It's safe to assume that that will not happen. But she definitely has a loud voice in terms of reaching and influencing public opinion if she chose to use it. So back to this great interactive visual on Politico.com. On this grid, you've got faces of individuals you may recognize or may not. And as you scroll down the page, you'll see that these people are divided into 6 groups that include 1. White House administration members. 2. Civil servants, like the guy I mentioned who was counsel to the House of Representatives. 3 is Congress. Either powerful individuals like Pelosi and McConnell, or groups like the squad of female members, or the group of Senate Republicans who could flip, but probably won't. 4, Democrats. Why they get their own segment, I don't understand. And there's only 3 of them listed anyway, and none of those have any legal leverage. I might as well tell them to you. Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, and Barack Obama. 5, foreigners, only 2, and they're from Ukraine. You've got President Zelensky, which I am proud to say I was talking about him and his crazy transition from TV star to president. Kind of like our president. Only everyone likes him over there, unless you're corrupt. The other guy is his aide, and neither of them have any legal leverage or influence over public opinion. Finally, you've got a grab bag of former officials and diplomats that include everyone from John Bolton and Rudy Giuliani to the imprisoned Paul Manafort and Fox News itself. If this were an Agatha Christie murder mystery, you would definitely want this great visual guide to figure out it was Colonel Mustard who impeached Trump in the Oval Office with a blow dryer or something like that. But I must warn you, I have to warn you that right around the 30-minute mark, give or take, the show really goes south in terms of juvenile, crass, lowbrow humor. And all I can say is it has to do with the definition of the word dork. Yeah, I'm a moron. I think I refer to Mark Zuckerberg as a dork, and then I think that's when the senator's second cocktail kicks in. We go way down a rabbit hole, and it's a very dirty, graphic rabbit hole. Why am I leaving it in? I don't have an answer for that. Eventually, this discussion leads to Google searches, and it's revealed once again that the senator is an IT idiot. Also, the senator is going through some stuff right now, which we will talk about in a future episode, but I think doing this episode was a little therapeutic for him. As I said, he's decided to have a cocktail beforehand. In fact, we pick up the conversation just as he's decided to make himself a second cocktail. And then we wrap up the very end of the episode with another argument that he starts about his legendary backpacking trip that somehow includes Uber. It's a so much stuff going on type of episode on The Modern Moron. Thank you for listening.
My head hurts.
It's tough stuff.
I need another cocktail.
Yeah.
I'm going to make another cocktail.
You're having another cocktail? Oh, so we want to take a break here? What, you almost spit your bourbon on your microphone.
No, we'll keep on going. What's next on the...
We taking a break here?
Next on the whiteboard?
Well, did we get everything out of this impeachment thing? It's so... Oh,
so I looked at that. It's really detailed.
Isn't it a great
piece? I love how you scroll down and you can see this person and you can point Rick Perry, the Secretary of Energy, and all this, and Kellyanne Conway, she may be in line to be Trump's press secretary.
But right now has no power in either. Right.
Do you know who this press secretary is right now? I mean, he's gone through so many.
The press secretary, the one right next to her, Stephanie Grisham?
Yeah. How many people know that? I don't think, he's gone through a lot of press secretaries. I don't know.
Well,
5, 6?
Well, the only two I really know is the one that Melissa McCarthy made fun of.
Spice.
Okay, so if nobody has any questions. Okay, we'll do a couple questions. Go. Glenn Thrush, New York Times. Boo! Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about the travel ban on Muslims.
Yeah, it's not a ban.
I'm sorry?
It's not a ban. The travel ban is not a ban, which makes it not a ban.
But you just called it a ban.
Because I'm using your words. You said ban. You said ban. Now I'm saying it
The
back
president
to you.
tweeted, and I quote, if the ban were announced with a 1-week notice...
Yeah, exactly. You just said that. He's quoting you. It's your words. He's using your words. When you use the words and he uses them back, it's circular using of the word, and that's from you. Seriously, Glenn? Are you going to start with this right out of the gate, Glenn? I mean, what do you want me to take my nuts out so you can get a better kick at them?
That was pretty good.
Spicer?
Yeah.
And the woman, I thought she did a great job, actually.
I did too.
What was her name?
That was
I'm stupid.
Yeah,
she's obviously loved by the right and hated by the left.
She's the daughter of the governor.
Huckabee.
Yeah.
Huckabee.
Yes, yeah.
Those are the two I remember. And I thought Huckabee, I'm not a Trump supporter, but I thought she did a great job.
Yeah.
Like she was always on point. She would never get rattled. Like, you got to hand it to her. She's got it together.
I totally agree. And she took a lot of heat, and she stood there strong
and handled it.
Yeah.
She totally handled it.
Yeah.
And so you're saying Kellyanne Conway could be a press secretary?
She's
been rumored as a potential replacement for Mick Mulvaney in the chief of staff role.
Wow.
Yeah, chief of staff role. That's what she could be up. She's a nut job.
Firecracker pistol.
I think the opposite of her that I think of Huckabee. Yeah, she's just
and
like
you have to look up. You should look up Kellyanne Conway's husband. He hates Trump.
Oh, he does?
Hates him. I mean, It's kind of like Carvel and Mary Magdalene. You remember them too? You know, he was always playing.
Did you just say Mary Magdalene?
Yes.
It's not Mary Magdalene, is it? Now I have to look up James Carville's wife, Mary Magdalene. That would make James Carville
Jesus.
Joseph the Carpenter.
Sorry, Jesus.
Oh. James
He doesn't look like
Carville's
Joseph.
wife.
Not even close.
It's Mary Matlin, I think.
No.
Yeah, Mary Matlin.
Madeline.
But I like Mary
So there's not a
Magdalene
G in
better.
there? Is there no G in there? No, it's not Mac.
No, Madeline. Matalin. Mary Madeline.
You know what? If Mary listens to our podcast, if she listens, she's going to be very impressed. Thank you, Mary. I enjoyed you, and I still do. Mary Magdalene.
Do you enjoy your husband? James Carville.
James
That's a
Carville.
ridiculous.
It's all about sex.
I love James
sex.
Carville. James Carville. I love James Carville. He cracked me up. So, do I need to explain this graphic? It's complicated, but it's not complicated. This thing from Politico.com.
Yeah.
As you scroll through it, there is
It's a lot to
an
read.
X and a Y axis.
It's a lot to take in.
There's a lot to take in, but they break it down, I think, beautifully. And, some people, and I would like to think the Modern Moron listeners, might not follow this impeachment process too much because it's such a pain in the ass to know all the players. Like, I don't know who that is, and I don't know who that is. And this kind of graphically breaks that down for you. Right?
Yeah.
There's an X and a Y axis, just like in math. So the X horizontal axis measures the influence an individual has on public opinion. So somebody who doesn't have influence of public opinion would be like Kellyanne Conway.
Yeah.
She really doesn't have much. Somebody who does, obviously, is Donald Trump. That guy's got lots of influence over public opinion with as much as he twitters. Yeah. So that's the X-axis. The Y-axis, the perpendicular axis, has to do with the higher up, the more legal leverage one would have. And the lower down, the less legal leverage. Again, Kellyanne Conway doesn't have much legal leverage, as opposed to, say, the group of Republican senators who could possibly flip on the president. They have a lot of legal leverage in the impeachment process, right?
Yes. Yes, they do.
If they all flipped, which they won't. But if they did, they've got a lot of power legal-wise. So as you scroll through this, there are pictures, little round head photos of the people that are players in the impeachment process. And they are broken down into 6 categories. The administration, the White House administration individuals, and you can scroll through and just look at them.
Right.
There are civil servants. Like, what is a civil servant? Well, as I was telling you, I didn't know that there was a general counsel, an attorney. That's what general counsel is, right?
Yes.
General counsel to the House of Representatives. Now, you don't know, his name's Douglas Letter. I don't know him.
Idea.
So obviously he has near zero or negative influence over public opinion. However, he does have some legal leverage because he's an attorney and he can advise the House of Representatives as to what to do. So that's civil servants. Then there's also Congress. You can scroll through that and it highlights groups of Congress. And as I said, the ones with the most power and the most influence right now are the GOP senators who could flip. Again, they probably won't, but they could. And they consist of Mitt Romney of Utah, Susan Collins of Maine, Lisa Murkowski of Arkansas, Rob Portman of Ohio, Mike Lee of Utah, and Marco Rubio of Florida. So a couple of those, the most pronounced, I would say, the ones who have run for president, Mitt Romney and Marco
Mitt
Rubio.
Romney hates Trump, hates him.
Right. And he's been tweeting under a pseudonym. Did you know that?
I saw a little bit of that story, but I didn't catch the
A
whole
French pseudonym. He's got a French name and he texts out as, I don't know, Zorro or whatever. And he says,
Zorro. I think, hey, dumbass.
No.
I think that would be not French.
Zorro is
Spanish. Yes.
But it's like that. It's like he's like the masked man, right? He comes in and he tweets. Instead of a sword, he's got a tweet and he gets out. Also, I was looking up these senators. You know who I love?
Oh my God.
Do you know Susan Collins?
I know who that is. Yeah. Yeah.
The senator
Maine,
from Maine.
yeah.
She is badass.
Yeah. I like her. I like her. Did she ever run for president? Did she run at one time? Like back?
I don't think so, but can I just give you a little background on her? She's a Republican. She was first elected in 1996. Okay, fine. She voted not to impeach Clinton, and she got a lot of flack for that as a Republican, right?
They were trying to set me up and trick me.
She has been since 96 and 99. She did not go against Clinton. She is known for having never missed a single Senate vote since she became a senator, which by September 2015 had reached 6,000 consecutive voting streak.
Wow. I did not know
How
that.
about
Yeah,
that?
Did not.
That is showing up.
Good for her.
Isn't that
Yeah, good for
impressive?
her.
I mean, if nothing else, Democrat or Republican, even if you're a Democrat, you have to say, you know what? Susan Collins shows
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
She's the most senior.
I didn't know that.
You
No,
didn't
I
know
did
that?
not know.
Yeah. She is the most senior Republican woman in the Senate and dean of Maine's congressional delegation. She is the only Republican representing New England in the 116th Congress. But the fact that she shows up and has voted on every vote, like, man, you got to hand her some
Good
credit.
for her. She's earning her money.
Yeah.
I like that. I mean,
And I think that's a bipartisan thing. You
Yeah.
got to hand it to
Yeah.
somebody who's been doing it for that long and showing up to every single vote. Anyway,
is she the senior?
I
No,
got
that's
off.
okay. She's from Maine.
she's the senior most
Yeah.
female.
Good for her.
So that group of Congress, have the most public opinion influence and at the same time has the most legal leverage. Then you scroll down further and they show a group of Democrats. Why they show Democrats, I'm not sure. And guess what? They only showed 3 Democrats.
Yes.
The 3 Democrats are Hunter Biden, who has no legal leverage and no public influence. He needs to keep his mouth shut because he's wrapped up in this whole thing. The other Democrat is his father, and he can't say anything either because he's involved in it. And the third Democrat is Obama. It says he remains a popular and powerful figure, but has withheld from frequently criticizing Trump.
He's a showboat.
He's kept out of it. And you know what? You have to hand it to Obama for just, he knows what it's like to be in that Oval Office. And it would just not be good for the country for any president to criticize the current president.
Yeah, but
Right?
in that same line of thinking, Trump has had no problem criticizing past presidents.
Well, but Trump
I-
lacks
I'm
integrity.
he.
Don't be rude.
Yeah.
That's a personal,
Yeah,
that's bipartisan. He lacks integrity, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You just
You
don't-
agree?
It's just there's.
He's not your average guy.
But you have some
he's a
sort of
sociopath.
decorum that you follow, and that is,
Yeah.
hey, let's agree. You don't talk bad about me. I won't talk bad about you. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 4 of them alive. Carter, yeah, Bush, right?
Oh, presidents that are alive? Yeah.
Right.
Carter's not
Right.
doing so hot
But
these days.
just have some respect for God's sake.
Yeah, just have some respect for the fact that you occupied the office. And Obama has said, I was watching a video of when Trump was elected. Obama said, look, we are going to do everything we can to have a smooth transition to the next administration. Do you think if Trump is voted out, do you think he's going to say something like
no.
that?
I just don't want a poor person.
No, he will not. No, even if he makes it another term, which is actually, it's likely. I still think as a lame duck president, do you think he would say, we're going to do everything we can to help this president who will never be half as good as I was, give him as much help as I can. Maybe he'll just let me have a third term. I think that's
my
probably what
God.
he would end up saying.
We are in some strange times, bro.
Oh my God, aren't we? That's why I love this thing from Politico.com. Then they have foreigners. They only have 2 of them, and it's that poor bastard
Well,
Vladimir
but
Zelensky.
why
He just wants his missiles so he can keep Russia off his back.
why hasn't he come out and said, well, he hasn't condemned the behavior. Trump's been using it as his defense. He's been saying, well, he hasn't said anything bad, blah, 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 blah. What do you think Zelensky is thinking? Is he just like, well, I just better keep my mouth shut?
I think he doesn't want to offend somebody that has promised him $500 million in military aid because he's got Russia on his border. He's like Obama. Bro, I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to take any sides. I would just like the $500 million I was promised so I can get those missiles and go shoot it at some Russians. We're all good. I've got so much corruption in my own country that I need to deal with. I don't want to take on yours. That's what I think his position is.
Do you think that this behavior has ever occurred in the past and we just never knew about it? No.
This kind of backbiting?
Quid pro quo that Trump has perpetrated, apparently, with Ukraine. And that, no phone calls, or maybe a phone call that was never recorded, whatever. Do you think that any president...
I think they're not quid pro quo in a president seeking to get dirt on an opponent. A political opponent that may run against him.
But dangling something in front of somebody saying, look, we're going to give...
It's all quid pro quo.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I asked.
Of course it is.
I agree.
But Trump did it like, you got to look up the Bidens. They're very bad. Very bad. Yeah. And maybe they are.
What you going to do about it?
I don't know. I mean, isn't it kind of a strange coincidence that Biden's over there doing work in Ukraine and all of a sudden his son is on the board of directors of the biggest oil company over there making 50 grand a month?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little strange, But this is what I think why Pelosi is moving forward is that Trump is that bed of nails guy. He's laying on a bed of nails. Whatever he's poking at you on one week, he'll have something else the next week, something else the next week. And they have got to stay focused on this one incident. They can't move on to the next thing he says. They can't go back to him grabbing women by the He can't. They can't. All that's water under the bridge. Huh?
He wanted to do that. He didn't actually do it, just for the record.
Oh, well, then never mind. All is forgiven. They got to stick with this and stay focused on this one thing. You can't do this one thing. It's illegal. It's impeachable. And you are impeached for this one thing, despite the myriad of unethical things you have said and done in your office.
Whew.
What do you
think? You're not voting for him, are you? You're not voting for Trump, are you?
No. Are you? You are not.
I'm not voting, just like with the last election, I'm not voting for either one of those numbnuts. I didn't vote for Hillary, and I didn't vote for Trump.
I voted for you.
And there's going to be 2 more numbnuts, including the one in the White House, and there's going to be another numbnuts running against him, and we're going to go throw up our hands and go, oh.
It's the lesser of two evils every time.
The most people that I know that voted for Trump, it was not a vote for Trump, it was a vote against Hillary. And I guess you can make that argument, but this is what we've got. Mm-hmm. This is what we have.
Yeah.
This is it.
It seems like every time an election comes up like this, I have a favorite on one party or the other that's like the second or third place person that I really like. They don't make it, and then I'm landed with, these 2 people that I don't really like. Which one of them do I not like the least?
Grab them by the
I would love to see either Buttigieg or Andrew Yang. They're moderate. I would love to see a third party emerge from all this mess that is from the middle, is from the right part of the left and the left part of the right, not the fucking fringes.
Yes.
They're nuts, both of them.
Amen. But what do we got?
Yeah.
You got Bernie, you got 2 old white guys.
Bernie.
and I don't know if she's crazy.
Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth. I don't know if she's crazy, but
I want to tell you a story about a toaster.
I don't know.
Did you read anything recently about her plan to pay for Medicare for all?
I read the price tag.
I heard it was like $20 trillion, and then some economists said, nah, it's more like 35. Which Saturday Night Live said, when you're talking trillions of dollars, it doesn't matter. It's not real. It's so much money, it's just not real. What's the difference between 20 trillion and 35 trillion? 15 trillion. So what?
God, isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Insane.
That is crazy. Oh, I don't know what it was. It was a lot of money. Was it really in the trillions?
Oh, yeah. Really? 22 trillion, I think is what she said. I think. Don't quote me on that because I'm a moron. And then I read a headline that some economist said it's more like about $33 or $34 trillion her plan as they worked it.
How does she find that money?
I couldn't even.
I mean, where does she? Did anybody raise their hand as the press corps and go? So it's going to be $20 trillion. Where is that coming from, Senator Warren? I would love somebody just to go, where is that coming from? And go, don't give me the political answer. Where is that money coming from? And be honest, because Trump would be honest. Well, Trump would be honest.
I thought she was supposed to have said that. I thought she revealed that.
I don't know. I don't know where it's coming from. Is it let's tax the rich?
All I see is Saturday Night Live attacks Warren's Medicare plan for all is mainly what I see. Warren has a fantasy plan is the headline from the Wall Street Journal. The New York Times says Warren goes 1 for 2 on Medicare. I don't know what that means. The New York Times also says Elizabeth Warren's healthcare albatross. The Washington Post, which I don't think I can look at because you have to have a subscription. The math for Warren's healthcare plan adds up if you accept its ludicrous premise. That's the Washington Post.
Yes,
and they're left-leaning, right? The math for Warren's healthcare plan adds up if you accept its ludicrous premise. I'll just read the first. Oh, this is probably an op-ed. Yeah, it's an opinion, right? This is an opinion from the Washington Post, Megan McArdle. We need plans, not slogans. That's the phrase users highlighted the most in Senator Elizabeth Warren's newly announced Medicare for All plan, which is very on brand. Andrew Yang may be running with a campaign button reading math, but it's Warren who has successfully framed herself as the wonk on the debate stage. Yet as she has inched toward the front of the pack, her fellow candidates have pointed out with increasing ferocity that Warren's Medicare for All promises using a big hand wave where the numbers ought to be. Given that this is by far the biggest program on her agenda, that's not a good look for our aspiring wonk in chief. Do you know what a wonk is?
WOKE?
No, wonk. WONK. See what morons we are? This show is not named The Modern Moron for nothing.
Wonk, isn't that? Wait, hold on. I know what it is. I got it. Wasn't that like one of those little creatures on Star Wars?
No, but you just confirmed why this is The Modern Moron.
Aren't they called wonkies?
Wonk.
Or something? What's the things on Star Wars? No, I want to know. Wookiees?
Wookiees.
I was close.
Yeah.
I was close.
A wonk is an expert in a field, typically someone who is fairly young and very intelligent. Well, I wouldn't say Elizabeth Warren is young, but it's basically an expert on a field.
Like Mark Zuckerberg is a wonk, right?
He's a dork.
Good one.
You know a dork is a whale penis? Did you know that? Look up dork.
What?
Look up dork.
A dork is what?
It's a whale penis. It's the penis of a whale. Yes.
Whale penis.
That's what a dork is.
This says dork is a person which is both academically inclined and fans over things, also is silly and clumsy. It doesn't say anything about a whale penis.
Keep reading. Keep reading. It's a whale penis.
Okay. All right. Dork. Dork. A girl may call a guy a dork if she likes them or finds them attractive. Dork. An individual who exhibits the following characteristics. Dork. You can no longer tell me you're not a dork because now you are literally the definition of one. Dork. No, this is all Urban Dictionary.
Actually, the term dork as a penis is documented. As a whale penis, it is not documented. It's popularly asserted that the term originated as whalers' occupational slang for penis of a whale, and by transfer became an anatomical insult, undergoing subsequent generalization and a big word I cannot say to its present meaning.
You reading a definition of something is almost as much fun as listening to you mispronounce something.
Here's a well-cocked Urban Dictionary.
This is from Urban Dictionary?
Hold on. Yeah, the blue penis, or dork, is the largest that ever existed. See?
Oh, they haven't met you.
The average size of an adult male is 15 feet.
Ooh.
That's a penis. That's 15 feet, dude. Wait, hold on. Wait, let's think about that for a second.
And the testicle.
I'm 6 foot.
A 15-foot penis?
Two of me plus some. Let's stand on top of each other. The testicles.
That's like the top of the backboard at an NBA.
That's terrible.
Now, this is more me. The testicle weighs 22 pounds.
Well, that shouldn't impress you.
No, that's and that well has nothing on me.
You've got a testicle that weighs 25 easily.
Here's the most important part.
It's
the
lead.
blue whale can produce between 3 to 20 gallons of sperm during its mating season. I don't know why I find that so funny. It's so sophomoric, but it's hilarious.
That's your favorite part, huh?
What does 20 gallons of sperm look
20
like?
gallons?
I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm not going to
I'm
respond
sorry.
because there's just
Sorry. 20 gallons?
You should be. The second definition, a dork is a blue whale's penis. In today's slang, the word dork is used as an insult, geek, or nerd, and many do not know where it comes from. Susan, Peter is such a dork, he works on Friday nights.
Okay.
Okay. Dude, look at that dork. That's a whale swimming on his back.
With a 22
Dude, look
pound
at that
testicle.
dork.
Wow. That's a big testicle, man.
You can barely get the word testicle out, can't you? Testicle.
Lenny.
Yeah. Like Lenny. Testicle.
Oh, so what is the proper name for a whale penis?
Whale penis?
I'm a moron.
Yeah.
I mean, we all want to be on the same page. Just say whale penis. Okay, we can stop anytime.
We've talked for over an hour.
I've got more than enough.
Oh, okay.
No, we've talked for 50
Okay.
minutes. But we also talked for half an hour last night.
No.
Or 40. We talked for 45 minutes last night.
Wait, I want to look up more about the whale testicles.
Are we done?
Is that the biggest? 22 pounds?
Oh, God. Testicles.
Oh, my goodness. That's a big nut, man.
Besides yours.
They're not dragging on the ocean floor.
And where are they? They must be internal. I mean, you don't see the profile of a blue whale swimming along like, here's
Where is
my
the
sack.
whale?
They must be internal to keep the sperm warm,
Where's the whale?
right? To keep it warm. Why are we talking? You know, we went from trying to have an intelligent
Okay,
conversation
a
about
whale's
politics
testicle
to talking
is
about
located
a
halfway
whale's
between
balls.
the anus and the navel. The reproductive organs are thus hidden inside the body. Whales have a streamlined profile that allows them to glide through the water. Imagine now the result if the family jewels were not so well tucked away inside the genital slit.
Now, what site did you read that from?
Boring.
I Googled, where is the whale testicle located?
And there was one sentence in there that was like, well, that doesn't sound very official.
The one about
the jewels.
Imagine now the results of the family jewels were not so well tucked away.
Yeah, the family
genital
jewels. Slit. Again, what is the site that you're on?
So I just Googled.
Oh, God.
I Googled, where is the whale testicle located? I Googled it.
Okay. And it gave you some results.
Put in, where is the whale?
An IT idiot. Where is the what?
Where is the whale testicle located?
And it gave you.
It is located halfway between the anus and the navel.
You're funny.
Where do you see that? Is it BBC.com? Is it Baleen?
I don't know. I just put in, where is the whale testicle located? And that came up. It's magic.
That's what I did. Where? Oh, let me do it. Hang on a second.
Do whales have balls?
Can you please stop talking?
Birds do it.
Yeah,
Bees
but they're
do it.
located
So do
inside.
whales.
Hang on.
The male right whale can boast a 12-foot long penis, and it's the biggest testicle of any animal on Earth. And 1 ton and producing a gallon of sperm.
The penis of the blue whale is normally hidden inside its body and jets out through a genital slit during intercourse. I'm just trying to figure out where you went, because when you Google something, you get a list of websites to go to.
I Googled, where is the whale testicle located, and I hit search.
Okay, I'm aware of that.
I'm going images now. Oh, the images.
I don't need the images. I'm trying to figure out, God, when it comes to IT, you're an idiot.
Penis. Wow, that's a big penis.
I'm going to say family jewels.
Crap. Whales are beautiful.
Reproduction, whalesonline.org. That must be where you got it from. Whales Online? No. BayleansDirect.org.
Did you go? Okay, go to Google.
Okay, I did.
Okay. Type in where is the whale testicle located?
I did. Okay,
That's
great.
it. Just
I did.
Where is the whale?
I did.
And hit search. And nothing that doesn't come up. It is located halfway between the anus
The first
and
thing
the
I
navel.
see is Earth, a whale with 1 ton testicles. BBC.com.
Okay, then this is Google fucking with us all because those are the lords. They're the masters of the universe.
And the masters of the universe.
They give you what
Five
they want
things
to give you. They wanted to give me
5
this.
things
they
you
wanted to give me
probably
something else.
didn't know about testicles.
See, now I see that. I see that right below it. I see it
Right
below
above that, do you see right whale sex involves 1 ton testicles?
No.
Yes?
Nope. I do not.
Oh.
Nope.
And the first one I see is Earth, a whale with 1 ton testicles. BBC.
It's the overlords. They see what we want.
People also ask, do whales have balls? Really? Balls?
The biggest testicles in the animal kingdom belong to the
To the
tuberous
senator.
bush cricket,
What?
also called the platypus.
Just don't even try.
Phoenix,
What website are you on now?
at least in relation to the body mass. They account for 14% of the insect's weight. Oh, so
On
based
size.
on-
Relative size.
if the same were true of a man, they would weigh about the same as 6 bags of sugar. So the
What?
biggest testicles in the animal kingdom belong to the tuberous bush cricket. So the bush cricket has big nuts compared to its body size. Big testicles.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to click on the tuberous bush cricket. Oh, it's so tiny, but it's got, the balls are huge.
Okay.
The animal kingdom has gained a new record holder for scientists declared a species of cricket to possess the largest known testes of any creature in relation to its body mass. So the bush cricket wins based on its body. So if you look at the bush cricket, it's got 2 big giant balls.
Okay. Now, why we've just degenerated? Bush cricket? Bush
Yeah, look at the
cricket testicles.
Okay.
Oh, my daughter walks in right now. What are you doing, Dad? I'm looking at cricket balls.
Creepy.
That's what we're having for dinner tonight.
Woo, with a little couscous.
They are pretty big, but they must be internal as well.
Those 2 balls, you think that
Are you looking at the image of the guy holding up a petri dish and he's kind of smiling?
yes,
Hey,
Yeah.
hey,
Look at those. Look at
these are
those
cricket balls.
cricket balls.
Holy cow, look at the balls on that
Cricket.
cow.
Oh man. I don't remember Jimmy
right.
the Cricket having big balls like that.
They're under his top hat.
Oh, of course.
Okay, are we done?
I guess we're done. I'm gonna go make another cocktail and watch the 5:00 game.
All right. It was great talking to you, Senator.
I'm up here at my home, my second home, and
All
I'm
right.
all by myself, and I'm loving it. And I'm just happy right now. I'm happy.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
that my mom has passed, but I'm happy.
Good. Well, a cocktail helps, but
Yeah.
if you know how to do it in moderation.
Well, the next, if we do want to record for your show,
Dude, you haven't been on this thing since July.
your show.
Okay, you're drunk.
It's your show.
Okay.
It's your show.
Thanks.
We still have to talk about my hike because your new name is Robert Mueller because you can't find any evidence on me because I'm Teflon.
Okay, and then
I know you tried, so don't lie to me.
okay, so that makes the whistleblower.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No
Give me-
evidence
I'm-
whatsoever.
I'm
Give me the
not
evidence.
going down that. You're so full of.
Give me the evidence.
You
have
tell
not
me
Robert Mueller.
what
Robert
fucking
Mueller.
hike
You're Robert
includes
Mueller. You're
driving
Robert
an
Mueller.
Uber. Did
You
you take an Uber while you were hiking?
We
Did
all
you take
did.
an Uber?
Yes, we did. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's not hiking.
No,
Taking
but
an Uber is not hiking.
But we didn't cut anything off. We chose not to go. It wasn't like I was trying to hide anything.
Okay, then you
Robert
chose
Mueller?
not to hike the
Robert
Tahoe
Mueller.
Rim. Then
Yeah.
you chose not to hike
You
the Tahoe
found
Rim.
nothing.
And don't go around
Which
saying
hunt?
you hiked the
Which
Tahoe
hunt?
Rim.
Which hunt?
Okay,
Which
and
hunt?
you're
Which hunt?
done. Mike has been turned off. As you can tell, I was able to lower the tone of my voice because the senator was cut off.
Oh, cut me off, Robert Mueller.
I do enjoy doing that, I have to admit.
All right, I'm going to go.
Good. Bye.
See you later. Bye.
You see, I told you this episode went into the toilet, didn't I? And then it just swirled around like a turd that wouldn't flush. Oh, God. Next episode, we'll conclude this discussion by going back to the beginning of the recording session, where we agree completely on a message from Barack Obama on the current woke culture. Woke, W-O-K-E. God, I hope we don't have to look up the definition of the word woke. It'll just spell disaster. Oh, look, I made a pun. If you made it this far, thank you for listening to this extended episode of The Modern Moron. And have a great rest of your day or evening.